Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I don't usually make videos like this, but on the advent of the brand new iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, and the Pro Max, I thought I'd take a couple minutes to sit here and talk about which one should you get. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there on the fence. There's reasons that they don't want to upgrade. There's reasons that they do want to upgrade. I mean, if you've got an iPhone 10s or a 10s Max, should you consider upgrading? And if you consider upgrading, would the iPhone 11 be a downgrade versus going to the Pro or the Pro Max? So these are some of the questions. And then two, looking at the iPhone 11, is it viable as the iPhone 11 and not having that XR moniker attached to it anymore? And I feel like that kind of hurt it last year when the XR came out. And I think the XR was the iPhone for a lot of people. It was the best selling one. It had a lot of good things going for it. But just because it said XR on it, it's made out of aluminum instead of stainless steel, all the other stuff going on, the difference between the memory, the screen resolution. I had a lot of hangups with the iPhone 10R or the XR, whatever you want to call it. Moving over to the iPhone 11, I personally think the iPhone 11 is going to sell like hotcakes and it's going to be the best iPhone for most people. So, if you've got an older iPhone, should you upgrade? Well, as you see, I've got an iPhone 10s here. If I didn't do tech reviews and I weren't addicted to phones and getting the latest and greatest when they come out, I would be perfectly comfortable staying with this one. I don't have a whole lot that's really compelling me other than I do case reviews, I want the phone, I just want it. I don't need it, and I don't really feel compelled to go out and buy it because of the performance upgrade. Really, 99% of the phone is going to run exactly the same, other than the fact that you get the additional camera. So you're going to have three cameras instead of two, and it's supposed to have better battery life, which everybody could use better battery life. And of course, it comes with the new 18-watt charger. So that's really about the only big differences. I mean, every iPhone's going to have iOS 13 on it, so you don't really have to worry about any sort of other tangible difference. The performance is going to be mostly the same. So if you have an iPhone 10s or 10s Max, unless you just really, really want it, I don't think that you should feel compelled to go upgrade, because on the annual upgrade cycle for $1,000 or $1,100, $999 or $1099, I don't think you're going to get the bang for your buck that you would expect that we used to get in the annual upgrade cycles. Now, if you're using an iPhone 10, an iPhone 8, I definitely would recommend considering looking at the upgrade. There's a lot of stuff that you're missing out on, especially if you're still using one that has a home button on it. So if you've got an iPhone 7, an iPhone 8, I feel very comfortable in saying that maybe look at the iPhone 11. Now, do you need the iPhone 11 Pro or the Pro Max? That's a whole other story. Last year, I would have said skip the 10R for most people because I had a lot of hangups with the screen resolution. But having used the 10R for several months last year, having the better battery life, and now the new 11 has two cameras on it, plus all the cool colors, which I'm really sold on the purple one. I might go out and get one anyway. I really like it. But the new colors, the two cameras, and that was one thing that I really didn't like. I thought that they purposely dumbed down the 10R last year. This year, I really think they doubled down. They actually lowered the price. It comes with 64 gigabytes of storage, two cameras on it now, so you get the wide lens and you get the regular lens. You still have best in class battery performance as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the iPhones. I think that it's going to be a really good phone for a lot of people, and I don't think that it's a downgrade. Now, I'm not crazy about the 820p resolution and the LCD screen. I still like the OLED better. I still like the higher resolution, but most people won't notice. It's not something that you're going to sit there and go, oh, this one looks more pixelated. I can't live my life this way. If you're me and you're using a Note 10 Plus that you have on Quad HD Plus going back and forth, there is kind of a noticeable difference. But if it's your only phone, your eyes adjust to what you're looking at and it doesn't look bad. It's the same screen resolution essentially you've been looking at for the 7, the 8, all the other ones, even the 10R for last year. So I don't think that it's as much of a short sell this year, especially when the rest of the flagship phones are coming in at $999 and up. I price it just right. It's a steal of a deal. And if you're looking to upgrade your iPhone, I think that it's a solid buy. Now, looking up into the next category, looking at the the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max. I don't like the gigantic screen on the Pro Max. I mean, I like the gigantic screen, but the phone itself is huge. It's like a brick, and that's why I actually got the 10s Max when it first came out last year. I used it for like 2 months. It was hurting my hand, my fingers. It was just a gigantic, bulky, heavy phone. So I went and I got rid of it, and now I have the 10s. So whenever I upgraded this cycle, I went with the 11 Pro. The 11 Pro still has a 5.8-inch screen. I wish it were a little bit bigger, but you get the Quad HD screen resolution just like you get with the Pro Max. It's got the same amount of memory. They increased the battery performance in both the 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max. So I think that you're going to be fine with either one because the phones are identical other than screen size. So if you want the larger screen, if you only use one phone, if you really want that gigantic screen, I say go with the Pro Max. And of course, you should get a little bit better battery life out of it just because by nature of being a larger phone, it does have a larger battery. So there are some good things going for it. But do you want to spend $999 or $1,099 to get one? Well, if you can upgrade one of your other phones, so if you've got an iPhone 10, I think they were giving like $400. Some places, I know like T-Mobile is giving up to like $500-600 for certain phones. If you've got the 10s or the 10s Max. So there are ways that you can maximize your trade to where you can either get bill credits or where you can get a lower payment or where you can get a good trade-in deal. So I think those are things that are important to consider when you're looking at the new iPhone, but that's a whole nother story. So if you just want to upgrade from an older iPhone, I think that probably the 11 would be the best one. If you want to get all the bells and whistles, you want to have the flagship Standard Bearer Pro moniker attached to it, and of course that extra powerful charger instead of the normal 5-watt charger, go ahead and get the Pro or the Pro Max. But if you're looking at it as the iPhone 11 is cheaper, I don't really think that's the case this time. I really felt like they angled it that way with the 10R versus the 10s and the 10s Max, but moving over to the new generation with the iPhone 11 and then the Pro and the Pro Max, I think that it was smart of them to go ahead and name it the iPhone 11. It's just what it is. It's the iPhone. And that's what you get. You get iMessage, you get the seamless transition between apps and the ecosphere. It works with your iPad or works with your MacBook or your MacBook Air, whatever it's called. I'm drawing a blank right now. But whenever it comes to being absorbed in the ecosphere, if you don't need to spend the extra money and get the more expensive one with the third camera, don't go out there and kill yourself or your wallet to do it. And you're not going to be missing anything. And I think that the iPhone 11 is actually more attractive with the new colors that it has versus the Pro and the Pro Max. And I went with the green one, but there are, the white, the gold, the space gray. You get the kind of more pro professional looking colors, but I think that the colors actually look better on the new iPhone 11. So if you just want something that just works, it's going to be good for another 2 or 3 years. You're going to get all the iOS updates. You're going to have every single one of the features, Face ID, all that good stuff. Just get the 11. If you really have to have the Pro model, if you're really, really, really into photography, so if you're really, really into photography, get the iPhone 11. If you're really, really, really into photography, you want that extra camera, then spend the extra couple $100 and get yourself the iPhone 11 Pro or the Pro Max. And I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest distinctions is price. Is it something you can afford? Is it something you're willing to spend the money on? And do you really want that third camera with the higher resolution graphics? So if it's not, maybe just get the iPhone 11. So that's all I've got in this video. Hopefully this has helped you with some information and maybe some thought processes to look at whether you should upgrade your phone. And if you do upgrade your phone, whether you should go ahead and get the 11 or the Pro or the Pro Max. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. Thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, hit the like and the subscribe button, the little notification bell. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.